Did you know that one of the most powerful surahs in the Qur'an is recited by millions every day, yet 99% of Muslims overlook its true value? Surah Ikhlas, just 4 verses long, might seem simple, but hidden within it is a spiritual blessing so massive it's been described as more valuable than wealth, power, or even the entire dunya. This surah holds secrets that can unlock barakah in your rizq, elevate your rank in the hereafter, and even grant you a palace in Jannah, just by reciting it with sincerity. But here's the shocking part. Most believers recite it without realizing the treasure they're holding in their hands. In this video, we'll uncover what makes Surah Ikhlas a divine key to spiritual and worldly success, and why understanding it could completely transform your connection with Allah. Stay tuned. This is something you'll never forget. 1. Surah Ikhlas is often overlooked. Surah Ikhlas is one of the most commonly recited chapters of the Qur'an, especially in daily prayers. Its brevity makes it easy to memorize, and because of that, many Muslims recite it almost automatically, without much reflection or understanding. This very familiarity can become the reason it's overlooked. While people recognize its words, they often miss its depth and power. In our fast-paced lives, we sometimes treat shorter surahs as a quick way to complete salah. Surah Ikhlas becomes routine, repeated mechanically rather than spiritually. The habit of rushing through it causes many to forget that this surah is a direct and powerful declaration of Allah's oneness, a foundation of our faith. What most people don't realize is that within these few verses lies a profound spiritual treasure. The lack of focus and intention during its recitation means they unknowingly miss out on immense blessings, both in this world and the hereafter. It's not the length of the surah that matters, it's the understanding and sincerity with which it's recited. By taking a moment to appreciate its meaning, believers can unlock doors to blessings they never imagined were hidden in this short yet mighty chapter. 2. Surah Ikhlas equals 1/3 of the Qur'an. One of the most astonishing virtues of Surah Ikhlas is the statement of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that Surah Ikhlas is equal to 1/3 of the Qur'an. This hadith is recorded in multiple authentic sources and reveals a deep secret that many Muslims don't fully understand. It's not simply about the reward, it's about the weight of its meaning. The Qur'an is broadly divided into 3 themes: Tawheed, oneness of Allah, stories of previous nations, and rulings laws. Surah Ikhlas focuses solely and powerfully on the first, Tawheed, in just 4 verses. It encapsulates the entire concept of who Allah is, unique, eternal, self-sufficient, and incomparable. This foundational belief is the heart of Islam. Because of this powerful message, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that reciting Surah Ikhlas is equivalent in meaning and reward to reciting 1/3 of the Qur'an. It's not a replacement, but a divine shortcut to immense spiritual gain when understood and recited with sincerity. This equivalence doesn't just reward the tongue, it strengthens faith. It reminds the believer of Allah's perfect nature and affirms their commitment to worshipping Him alone. The value lies not just in repetition, but in recognizing its role as a spiritual pillar within the Quranic message. 3. Promise of a palace in Jannah. Among the many virtues of Surah Ikhlas, one of the most beautiful promises from Allah is that whoever recites it 10 times, Allah will build a palace for them in Jannah, paradise. This incredible reward was mentioned in an authentic hadith reported by Imam Ahmad and others, showing how beloved this surah is in the sight of Allah. Imagine, just 10 sincere recitations of a short surah, and you are guaranteed a palace in paradise. Not a room, not a garden, but a full palace built by the command of the most generous, Al-Karim. It shows that Allah doesn't look at the size of the deed, but at the intention and love behind it. This reward also reflects the high status of those who constantly affirm Allah's oneness. The message of Tawheed is so sacred that every time a believer sincerely declares it through Surah Ikhlas, they are spiritually investing in their eternal home. Unfortunately, many Muslims are unaware of this specific hadith. They recite the surah casually, not knowing the treasure they're holding. If we truly understood the value, we'd make it a habit, morning and evening, knowing that each repetition brings us one step closer to the gardens of Jannah. 4. Gateway to abundance and Rizq. Surah Ikhlas is not only a spiritual gem, it is also a hidden gateway to abundance, barakah, blessing, and provision, Rizq. While many associate it solely with reward in the afterlife, scholars and pious individuals throughout history have testified to its impact on a believer's worldly affairs, especially when recited with sincerity and reflection. This surah declares the oneness, independence, and self-sufficiency of Allah, As-Samad, the one whom all creation depends on. By acknowledging Allah as the ultimate provider and turning to Him through Surah Ikhlas, we realign our hearts with the source of all sustenance. When recited regularly with belief, it becomes a spiritual magnet for divine mercy and unexpected blessings. Numerous stories are found among scholars and ordinary Muslims alike, where reciting Surah Ikhlas in times of need brought ease, opened doors, and attracted provisions in miraculous ways. It's not superstition, it's spiritual wisdom. Allah responds to those who remember Him, especially through sincere expressions of Tawheed. In a world full of financial worry and uncertainty, the answer may lie in something we often overlook. Surah Ikhlas, recited consistently, can unlock Rizq from places we never imagined. But it requires trust, consistency, and deep sincerity in every recitation. 5. Spiritual wealth hidden in simplicity. One of the most remarkable aspects of Surah Ikhlas is how its immense spiritual value is hidden in its simplicity. With just 4 verses, it delivers a powerful declaration of Tawheed. Yet many overlook how this small surah carries a mountain of meaning and reward. Unlike longer surahs with detailed stories and laws, Surah Ikhlas is direct and pure. It doesn't speak of rules or punishments. Instead, it defines Allah in the clearest, most beautiful terms. It teaches us that Allah is one. He does not depend on anyone. He neither begets nor is begotten, and there is nothing like Him. These simple words form the core of Islamic belief and are enough to distinguish truth from falsehood. Because of this clarity, the spiritual reward of Surah Ikhlas is vast. It's not just a chapter, it's a form of worship, a statement of belief, and a shield against shirk, associating partners with Allah. When recited with mindfulness, it strengthens the soul, brings inner peace, and draws the heart closer to Allah. Its simplicity is a mercy, not a limitation. Through it, Allah made profound spirituality accessible to every believer, young or old, rich or poor, and that is a true sign of divine wisdom. 6. The blessing most Muslims miss. Despite Surah Ikhlas being one of the most frequently recited chapters in the Qur'an, many Muslims unknowingly miss out on its full blessing. The reason is not because they don't recite it, it's because they often recite without reflection, sincerity, or consistency. This surah is more than a set of memorized words. It's a powerful affirmation of who Allah is. Yet, when it's rushed through during salah or used simply to shorten prayer, the soul misses the spiritual depth it contains. The blessing of Surah Ikhlas lies not just in the act of reciting, but in connecting with its meaning, declaring Allah's oneness from the heart, with understanding and awe. Most Muslims know the surah by heart, but don't fully internalize the message. They miss the opportunity to use it as a daily source of spiritual connection and divine nearness. When recited with reflection, it becomes a shield against confusion, a light in darkness, and a means of attracting the mercy and love of Allah. The real blessing isn't in the repetition alone, it's in the awareness, love, and devotion behind each word. That is the treasure most people miss, a surah that could elevate them in both this life and the next. Surah Ikhlas is more than just a short surah. It's a gateway to immense blessings, barakah, and a powerful connection with Allah. Don't let its simplicity fool you. When recited with reflection and sincerity, it can transform your dunya and akhirah. If this video opened your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Pious Deen for more powerful Islamic reminders. May Allah bless you with endless rizq, strong faith, and a palace in Jannah. Comment below. Ya Allah, grant me the blessings hidden in Surah Ikhlas.